Leeds United and Leicester City have been relegated from the English Premier League. Leicester actually won their game 2-1. Leeds got battered 4-1, and Everton managed to scrape a 1-0 win in order to stay up. Now, looking at Leicester and Leeds, I don't think this is actually as disastrous as people think it will be. I think, actually, ironically, I think they could possibly bounce back, both clubs, at the first attempt next season. I think with Leicester and Leeds, I think this is the wake-up call they need to restructure how their teams are put together. I think Leicester, they've got players coming off contract anyway, but it's a chance to freshen up the squad and reassess what style of football they want to play. Personally, they have actually lost some key players and haven't adequately replaced them. I think this coming season for Leicester is the refresher season. I think this is a season where they can go back to the drawing board and refresh their squad and potentially get back in the Premier League at the first attempt. Leeds, defensively, they need a complete restructuring of their squad. They can score some fantastic goals. They've got some fantastic players. But since getting into the Premier League, they haven't taken that next step. Defensively, all over the place. And they haven't got the players to play structured football. So Sam Allardyce, ironically, is the wrong guy to have as manager. It was never going to work because the players and the structure of the squad is designed for just all-out attacking football. Defence is a secondary. The way Leeds is set up is to outscore the opposition. If you get them in an arm wrestle, they're not going to like that. They just play off the cuff. Beautiful going forward, defensively shambolic, and that's been their undoing for several seasons. They've not kicked on and they've not evolved their style to a bit more structure. They're a very unstructured side. So ironically, I don't think relegation is actually going to hurt Leeds too much either. I think they're in a much better position when they were last relegated all those years ago. Everton staying up in the short term, I think, yeah, okay, that obviously is important, but in the medium to long term, I can see Everton consistently being in this position. And if they were to get relegated, it would be disastrous. Now, Sean Dyche is going to have a very, very, very tough challenge ahead of him going forward. Very, very tough challenge going forward. And yeah, the difference between Everton and Burnley is Burnley, he knew he was constrained by finances, got that team into Europe. And I think they shouldn't have sacked him, but that's neither here nor there with his time at Burnley. This Everton job is going to be a lot harder than anything he's dealt with in his managerial career before. Everton is a club in crisis, and this well, they've avoided relegation for another year, and they've somehow managed to squeak it again. That's 2 years in a row Everton have done this. In the medium to long term, Everton are in serious, serious trouble with this stadium bill they've got going, the club's spending under the spotlight, the club's debt mounting up. We could see a potential for a mass squad clear out in order to raise funds. And players who are in that squad have not been performing for quite some time. Both English players and overseas players, they have been underperforming for a long time. And when people go, oh, it's Lampard's fault. No. Everton has been the worst run out of those three clubs for a long time. Yeah, there was a period where Leeds were badly run as well. But Leeds have been well run in the past and are well run now financially off the field. On the field, the performances didn't work. Leicester, very financially soundly run club, very well run. Everton, poorly run club, mismanaged to the hill. Since I was 6-7 years old, they haven't won a trophy since '95. They've only been in one cup final since they last lifted silverware. They are a club in serious trouble. And out of the three, even though they've stayed up, they've got the bleakest future ahead of them, because I think Leeds and Leicester can, reevaluate their situation, clear out their squads, restructure their squads, and come up with a style of football that can get them back in the Premier League and establish back in the Premier League. Everton are going to be in another relegation scrap next year, and may get relegated next year. They are going to constantly be fighting this battle of survival. Rather than fighting for the European places where Everton should be, they're now always relegation threatened, which is where they shouldn't be for a club of that size. Sean Dyche has got a very tough gig ahead of him. Sam Allardyce, wrong manager for Leeds with the players, the structure of the squad that's there. And in Leicester's case, I mean, I think they should have parted ways with Brendan Rodgers a lot sooner. And you have to question some of the commitment of some of the Leicester players, but some of the squad departures in recent years haven't helped. And they've just had a poor season. It happens. Leeds' defence is their issue, and the style of football they play and the squad structure that they have. Um, Defending was not clearly a priority. Everton, it's just chronic mismanagement and overpaying for players, players not performing. They've had so many managers at Everton, it's ridiculous. So hopefully Sean Dyche can bring some of that stability, but I think his job is going to be a lot tougher than the job he inherited when he returned to Burnley and got Burnley to Europe. I think the Everton job is going to be a much tougher assignment for Sean Dyche. But there we go. Leeds United and Leicester City relegated on the final day of the season. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll have some more content for you very, very soon.